Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we are back with another Cage Warriors prediction video on the channel. Today giving my predictions for Cage Warriors 192 Haque versus Scott. Now it's been some time since I last did a Cage Warriors prediction video. It was Cage Warriors 188. I think the last one we did pretty well on picks all the way up until the co-main and main event, which I picked both wrong somehow. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, that was a while ago. We did pretty well, but I'm looking forward to giving my predictions for this card today. But before we do that, make sure if you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you go down below and hit the subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So there is a total of 15 fights on this card, so quite a long one. But we kick things off with the first prelim of Haughian versus Joshua Adeboye. I've probably butchered a lot of these names in this card. I'm terrible with pronunciations every single card. I'd actually try and find out, and then I always butcher them anyways. But Haughian, I think that's how you say it. The Englishman, 1-0 professionally, won his first fight by guillotine in round number 2. Pretty impressive win there. That's his only fight professionally, so not much experience from there. But his opponent, Adeboye, is also only had one fight. The Nigerian man, he won his first fight by KO in round number 3 of Aaron Pierre. So both these guys, not much experience professionally, but have had quite a few amateur fights as well. Both guys do look decent, to fair, of course. None of them are lost yet, but I've got to pick one of them to win. Honestly, could go either way with this Cage Warriors fight. You never know, but I'm going to back the Nigerian man in Adeboye to get this job done. I reckon he gets another KO. And now we move up the card to Anthony Orozco versus Luan Duarte. Now, Orozco is a 6-0 American man. Looks very impressive record, to be fair. He's got 4 wins by KO, 2 wins by decision. His last win coming this year by decision to Andre Augusto, which is pretty decent. He's got quite a few round 1 finishes as well in Cage Warriors. I mean, he looks pretty good. Nothing to go badly on his career so far. I mean, he's he looks good. His opponent, Luan Duarte, on the other hand, is a 14-10 record, so a lot more fights. He's a Brazilian man, currently coming off a win this year by KO in round number 1, but he's been in some different promotions, not fought the best of opponents, to be fair. Like the last guy he KO'd was 7-7 record. I mean, he's lost quite a few decisions in the past, being KO'd before, but he's not a bad fighter. But I can't really not back Orozco to win this. He's 6-0, undefeated man, looks good, so I reckon Orozco gets the decision. And now we move the card to Tariq Pell versus Adam Shelley. Now this should be a fun matchup. Tariq Pell, Englishman, 5-1 record, 26 years old. He's pretty impressive. He's got 3 wins by KO, 1 win by submission, and 1 win by decision. He's coming off 2 wins in a row, both by round 1 KOs. Well, one was a doctor stoppage, one was a body kick KO. So pretty impressive run at the minute. Did lose a decision once, but apart from that, he's got all finishes pretty much. Like one was a disqualification, so it kind of counts as a finish. But yeah, he looks pretty decent so far in his career. On the other hand, we have Adam Shelley, the Irishman, 6-4 record. He's all right. He's coming off a win, to be fair, this year. Won a decision, but before that, he did get finished twice in a row, like back to back. He got KO'd and submitted. But yeah, he's had a few decent wins, to be fair, in Cage Warriors. He's won a few things by decision, beat some guys by KO, but they weren't that impressive. So I do think that Tariq Pell is the better fighter here. I mean, I don't know, just feel he's got a much better record at the minute. He's a dangerous man, and I reckon Pell gets a KO here. And now we move again to Tom Creasey versus Raz Bring. Now, Tom Creasey, 5-2 UK man, 33 years old. Did lose his last fight back in 2024 to a majority decision. I mean, both of his fights he's lost in his career have both been majority decisions, so no one's beat him convincingly yet. But he was, before his last loss, he was on a 4-fight winning streak with a couple finishes in there, a couple wins by decision as well. So he's not a bad fighter, to be fair. He's got 2 wins by KO, 2 wins by decision in his career. Raz Bring, on the other hand, an Israeli man, 7-6-1 record, 29 years old, so slightly younger. Not on a great run at the minute in Cage Warriors. He hasn't won in his last 5 fights. 4 of them have been losses, 1 of them being a draw. So not great at the minute. He has been finished twice in his last 3 fights as well. Got knocked out in round 1. Got submitted in his last fight in round number 3. So he's not on a great run. I think it's an easy pick for me. I would pick in Tom Creasey to get this job done. I mean, he's not bad. He did lose the last fight, but I reckon he's going to come in here, Creasey, and he's going to get the job done by decision. And now, move up the card to Yusuf Ali-Taleb versus Antonino Amodeo. Now, Ali-Taleb is a British man, 5-0 currently. Pretty good record, undefeated. He's got 3 wins by KO. Then his last 2 fights he's won by decision. One of them come by split decision, to be fair. So he's an impressive record, but he's not fought anyone too good. I mean, his last win was probably his best one, decision win over a 13-10 guy, but he went to split decision with a 6-9 guy, and all of his KOs have been against like people with not very many fights. His opponent, Antonino Amodeo, is 4-1 currently, Italian man, 34 years old. He's only lost once by guillotine back in 2024, but since then he's had 2 fights in 2025, won both of them, one by submission, one by decision. He's winning Cage Warriors as well, so I do think this was a close fight, to be fair. Both guys are pretty decent, only 1 loss between them both, so I'm going to back the Italian man, to be fair. I just don't think Ali-Taleb has fought that great opponents. I mean, I do think he's still good. He's obviously undefeated, so what can you say about that? But I think Amodeo is, he's been in Cage Warriors before, got a win, so I reckon Amodeo gets the decision. Now we move the card to Cameron Else versus Shirzad Qadrian. Now, Cameron Else is an Englishman, 11-6. He is 38 now. He's getting on quite a bit. Was in the UFC a couple of years ago now, back in 2020, because he had a really good run from 2018 to 2020. Finished like, he had like 6 fights or something in a row. Finished all of them. Looked really good. But then he came to the UFC, got knocked out twice, and then did come to Cage Warriors, and then got a win over Rhys McEwen last year by a split decision, which is quite impressive, to be fair. Not pretty decent win there, but not had the best run in the UFC, so he's not the best recently. But Qadrian, on the other hand, is Iranian man, 7-1, impressive record, only 24 years old as well, so very big difference in age gap here. He's on a good run, 4 fights in a row he's won, lost 1 fight to Weslley Maia, but he did come back and beat him last year by decision, so he put that loss to bed there. But on a decent run, beat Loof in his last fight by split decision, so I do think Else does have a chance to win him. Did get a win in his last fight by decision, but I reckon Qadrian, the younger fighter, is going to get this job done, and I reckon he gets the decision. And now we move the card to Conor Hayes versus Trevor Makengo. Now, Conor Hayes is 1-1, Englishman, not had too many fights, 31 years old. Lost his first fight to Angus Hewitt, which is not the best loss to have on his record, but it was his first professional fight, to be fair, and then won against a 0-4 guy in a different Cage Warriors Academy. He won that by KO in round number 1, so he's bounced back from his first loss, to be fair. Trevor Makengo, on the other hand, is an Irishman, currently 1-0 record, 26 years old, so also hasn't had many fights. Won his first fight by KO over another 0-0 guy in his first fight, so both these guys, not much to go for here. They've obviously had a few amateur fights between them both, but honestly, it could be a toss-up here. It's probably going to be a finish. Both these guys only had finishes in their professional careers, so I'm going to back Makengo to get this job done. Hayes honestly could get the KO here, but I'm going to back Makengo. The guy's he's no loss on his record so far, hasn't been KO before, so I'm going to go with Makengo to get the job done by KO. And now, moving the card to Joe Middleton versus Naglis Kanišauskas. Now, that is a mouthful of a name. Kanišauskas, the Lithuanian man. He's 8-4 in total. His record, only 24 years old as well, so quite young in the fight game. Did lose his last fight in Cage Warriors by split decision, but it was against an 8-1 guy, so not the worst fight in the world. He did have 2 fights before that and won by KO in both of them, so he is a dangerous man. All of his wins basically have been finishes. He's never won by decision. Has lost 4 times by decision though in his career, but he's a decent fighter, to be fair. On the other hand, we have Joe Middleton, who is pretty impressive, 3-0 Englishman, 29 years old, so slightly older, but all of his wins have came by submission so far in his career. It's 3-0, 2 wins coming by dash choke, 1 by anaconda choke, 2 of them in round 3 finishes, to be fair, so he shows he goes a distance, and then he can last all the way to the 3rd round, gets a nice sub, so he's decent. Both these guys are pretty good, but I'm going to back the Englishman to get this job done. Kanišauskas has never been finished before, but I reckon this is his time. I reckon Joe Middleton comes in here, could get another round 3 finish here, but I'm going to go Middleton by submission. And now moving up the card to Ty Palmer versus Mitchell Goode. Now this one's a hard fight for me to pick here. This took me a while to decide who I was going to pick here, but Ty Palmer currently 6-8 in total in his career, 35 years old, so getting on a bit now. Did lose his last fight by KO in round number 1 last year, but he's had a few decent wins, a few losses. I mean, he's been finished in all of his losses in his last couple of years, but I mean, he's not the most active fighter either. I mean, he took a break between 2015 and then 2023. I'm not sure why that break was, but yeah, he got KO'd and then he took a break, but came back, won 2, and then lost obviously last year. But he's an alright fighter. Just he lost quite a few fights. Like, he lost his first 3 professional fights in a row. That's why his record is pretty bad, to be fair. But his opponent, Mitchell Goode, on the other hand, is only had 2 fights. He's won his first one against Angus Hewitt, who we've already talked about on this card. But then he lost by KO in his last fight to Nazania this year. But I mean, he's alright, I guess. He's had 1 win, 1 loss. Both these guys, what can I say, they're not the greatest fighters in the world. Both not got great records, so it's a toss-up here. I mean, Ty Palmer, obviously more experienced fighter. He's had more fights. He's the older one, but I'm going to back Mitchell Goode to get this job done. I mean, honestly, it's not a confident pick, this one, guys, but I'm going to go Goode to get the decision. Now, moving to the cards, where Ali Sarwa versus Damiano Scogna. Now, this is a fun matchup, to be fair. Both undefeated guys. Ali Sarwa, 6-0, Englishman. He's pretty good. I mean, all of his 6 fights have come by KO. He's pretty impressive. Won his last fight by round 1 KO this year. Before that, round 1 KO. Before that, round 1 KO. You see a pattern here. He's got all finishes in round 1. He's pretty impressive. Has 1 no contest on his career as well, but that was back in 2023. And around that, he's pretty good. Some decent wins in there as well. Especially the last 2 fights have been impressive. On the other hand, the Italian man, Scogna, is 5-0-1. So he's 24 years old, so quite young as well. A lot of round 1 finishes. Has got quite a few submissions compared to Sarwa, who's old as KOs, but did win his last fight in Cage Warriors this year by round number 3 KO. Wasn't against the best of opponents, but he can still do it. He's got 3 rear naked choke wins in a row before that, and yeah, he looks pretty good. Drew his first fight, but since then looks pretty good. So honestly, both these guys are good, but I'm going to back Sarwa, the Englishman. I've seen him fought. He's pretty impressive, got some good wins in his record. So Sarwa is going to come in here and get the KO. Now, moving up the card to Weslley Maia versus Aidan Stephen. Now, Weslley Maia, 10-6, Brazilian man. Is pretty good. Has some good wins on his record. Beat Loof in his last fight by submission. Did beat Qadrian, who we just talked about, but then did lose to him. Again, recently, I'm pretty sure we were just talking about that before, but I'm going over it again. Did beat Lewis McGrillen-Evans on in the PFL, which is a pretty good win because McGrillen-Evans is doing really well at the minute. Obviously has quite a few losses on his record, but lost to some decent opponents, to be fair. Lost to like Jack Shaw, who's in the UFC. Lost to a 5-0 guy as well. And yeah, he's got some decent wins and some a few losses on his career. On the other hand, we have Aidan Stephen, the Scottish man, 11-5, 33 years old. Is also coming off a win in his last fight by submission. Did that this year. Lost to Loof, who Maia beat recently. So MMA Mafia, we see who wins. Never works. Never do MMA math. But has a few impressive wins, but also has lost quite a few fights in his career as well. Most of his fights going to decision, but he has got quite a few submission wins as well. So I reckon this could be a close one here, but I'm going to back Maia to get this job done. I do think Maia is a good fighter, so I'm going to back Maia to get the decision. Now, moving up the card to Jack Humphries versus Rory Evans. Now, I think this is an easier pick here. Humphries is 3-0, Englishman, only 22 years old, so very young at the minute. All 3 of his wins have come by finish in his career. Some decent wins in there as well, to be fair. His last win was this year. He got a rear naked choke. And all of his wins have been finishes. 2 submissions, 1 win by KO. He's pretty decent. Rory Evans, on the other hand, is a Welshman. 7-7 record, 32 years old. So Not his impressive record. Hasn't been on a great run recently. Lost a decision in his last fight. Did win by KO, but lost. He's been finished quite a few times pretty much in his last fight. Did beat Weslley Maia, who we've just talked about before. But yeah, he's not done well recently. Only won 2 of his last like 5 or 6 fights. So I'm going to back in Humphries to get this job done. I reckon he could either get a submission or a KO here. I'm not sure which one, but Evans has been KO'd a few times recently, so I'm going to back Humphries to get the KO. Now, we move the card to Leon Hill versus Stephen Hill. Now, I've got a theory, guys, here. Hill is going to win, but which one? So, Leon Hill, Irishman, 7-2 record. Quite impressive, to be fair. He lost his first fight back in 2020 by decision, but since then, he went 5-1, then he lost again by submission, but bounced back last year with a win by submission himself. He's pretty good. I mean, all of his wins have come by finish. 4 wins by KO, 3 wins by submission. So he's a dangerous man, to be fair. Stephen Hill, on the other hand, 7-2. So the same record, 32 years old. He's coming over from Bellator, where he wasn't doing too well recently. Just lost 2 fights, 1 by retirement, 1 by submission last year. But he's got it, and both his wins weren't too impressive, to be fair, in Bellator, but he's not got the worst record. He's only 2 losses, obviously, coming in his last 2 fights, but just by momentum and that, coming into this fight, Hill coming off 2 losses, Leon Hill, well, I don't know why I'm saying Hill, you're not going to understand, but Stephen Hill coming off 2 losses, Leon Hill coming into this with a win, and pretty impressive record. I'm going to back Leon Hill, the Irishman, to get this job done, but I reckon he could go decision here, but I reckon Hill gets the submission. Now we move at the card to Brad Wheeler versus Rafael Aronov. Now, Brad Wheeler is an Englishman, 19-16 in total, 34 years old. This guy is experienced. He's got a lot of fights in total, 10-8 in total in Cage Warriors. So got more wins than he has losses, which is decent, to be fair. Had 1 fight in PFL where he lost by rear naked choke in round number 1. Then left PFL, went to 2 other promotions, got finished twice as well in round 1, but he bounced back in his last fight this year, won by submission against a guy who's 9-33. So not the greatest win in the world, to be fair, but it is a win. A win's a win. But yeah, not the best record in the last couple of years. Was doing pretty well for a bit in Cage Warriors, had a good run, but he does always come up with a loss. Then he's recent years he's not done too well. On the other hand, we have Rafael Aronov. He's at 7-6, so not the best record. 30 years old, slightly younger. Did win his last fight by round 1 KO, which is impressive, to be fair. Lost to Sean Clancy Jr. before that by round 1 submission. I mean, most of his fights do go to a finish. I mean, pretty sure all of his fights have gone to. Oh no, he's had 1 loss by decision in his career, but that's the only fight in his career that's gone to on all 3 rounds. So he's pretty good, to be fair. I do think he's going to get the win here. I just don't think Brad Wheeler's been doing that well recently. So I'm going to back Aronov to get the submission. Now we move up to the main event. Shajidul Haque versus Jawany Scott. Now, this should be a decent matchup, to be fair here. I'm looking forward to watching it. Haque is 16-5. Englishman, was born in Bangladesh. He's pretty good. Obviously, he's on like a 5 or 6 fight winning streak, I think, at the minute. A few KOs in there and a few decision wins. Just beat some guy who's 8-1 to hold the belt in his last fight. But his last couple of losses, he only lost to like good opponents. He got KO'd by Jay Cadley, lost to Zymagulov and Ulanbekov, who are all like UFC, like that higher level. So he's pretty good at this level. Is Haque. Jawany Scott, on the other hand, is good. He's a pretty impressive like prospect, if you call him that. 28 years old, but he's 7-1 at the minute. Like his only loss was in his second professional fight, which was split decision. Since then, he's looked really good. Couple wins by decision. His last fight he won by KO, which is impressive. So I do think that Scott is pretty good. He's got some decent wins on his career, but I do think this is a big step for him. Haque is a good opponent. Obviously, he has the belt and stuff. So I'm going to back Haque to retain the title and win by decision. So there are my predictions for Cage Warriors 192. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.